Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host of the UFC Forecast, and we're back for the early predictions and betting breakdown for UFC Vegas 78 Fight Night. Vicente, Luque, Rafael, Anjos, and it's going to be a pretty decent card. I think it's a step up from last week in Nashville. Last week I kind of struggled. I went 6 out of 12 on my picks. Not too great, 50%. So we'll do a quick recap here. Asu got the job done, and then Sean Woodson. And then I switched my pick to Jake Hadley on the final prediction show. I should not have done that. I had Cody Durden all goddamn week. He survived the submission attempts from Jake Hadley, and then he won a decision. So good job on Cody Durden's part there. And my underdog of the week, Damon Jackson. I was too high on him, for sure. Definitely way too high on Damon Jackson. Billy Q pieced him apart. Clearly won that fight, no doubt about it. And next up, my lock of the week was clearly going to win that fight, and then he got submitted. Put to sleep, and I put my $135 on him, of course. So I fucking lost that $135 bet. And Corey Sandhagen obviously got that done in a boring-ass fight. The crowd was booing. They did not entertain whatsoever. So I'm pretty disappointed about that one. And another disappointment on the main card, Kennedy Nzechukwu got absolutely smoked to Dustin Jacoby. I'm a fan of Dustin Jacoby, but I just thought Kennedy was going to get the finish. And clearly not. Dustin Jacoby wanted to get a win really bad, and he ended up storm surging him. And I was wrong on the storm surge on Tanner Bowser. That fight went the distance. I had it going under 1.5, so I lost a single bet on that one. And another disappointment on the main card was definitely Gavin Tucker getting submitted to Diego Lopez. I was dissing the haircut, but the kid's the real deal, so I got to stop dissing that haircut. And then we had Ignacio Bahamondes lose the decision to Ludovic Klein. I mentioned the power that Ludovic Klein had, and I thought about taking Ludovic as a dog of the week, but I never got to it. I just stuck on the Bahamondes train. People in the Discord had him as lock of the week. Ignacio's still a little bit green. He has some work to do, so that's why I wanted to stay away from that one on bets. And the other fight I stayed away from on bets was Jessica Andrade. I've seen a lot of people taking the underdog there, but I did not waste my money. She got submitted, just like I said. Tatiana Suarez. She's the real deal. And I would say she's the biggest threat to the champion right now. And she's also with Patchy Mix, too, who's the Bellator champ. So she's definitely getting good training in. She's going to be a real problem for that division. And I can't wait to see her next fight. Let's get right into UFC Vegas 78. Let's go here. So everybody go grab a drink. If you don't drink, spark up a blunt. If you don't spark up blunts, just sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're going to start off with the main event. Vicente Luque, Rafael dos Anjos, 2 Brazilians. And it's priced very close. So let's have a big drink of liquid courage so we don't fuck this fucking pick up here. We got the former champ, Rafael dos Anjos. He's clearly going to be the better grappler in this fight. And then we got the guy, Vicente Luque, who's a little bit overrated, but yet very talented. He only has 2 decision wins. The rest are all finishes. Finish guys like Randy Brown, Jalen Turner, Nico Price, Tyron Woodley, Michael Chiesa. But then he has losses to Bilal Muhammad, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, the champion Leon Edwards, all by decision. So he struggles with grapplers, that's for sure. And Rafael dos Anjos can definitely get the takedowns and control time here in this fight. He has the experience, that's for sure, but he's going to be 7 years older. 5-inch reach disadvantage for him. So he's going to have to deal with the reach of Vicente Luque. I see this fight being very close, but for my prediction, I'm going to go with Dos Anjos by a decision in this one. I think he's going to have the better cardio. And he's been in there with guys like Khabib Nurmagomedov. Lost a decision in that one. Survived. I do believe the grappling abilities of Dos Anjos is going to surpass the striking abilities of Vicente Luque, winning himself the decision. And the judges are going to agree in this one. He gets it done on the judges' scorecards. And next up in the co-main event, we got a Canadian, Mean Hakeem Dawodu. Just lost a unanimous decision to Julian Erosa. Not a good look whatsoever. He got taken down, controlled, gassed out. And that's kind of sketchy because Cub Swanson can get a takedown in this fight. Probably get some control time. And probably has a better gas tank than Mean Hakeem, which is making me steer away from Dawodu on the bets. Cub Swanson is 39 years old. I do not think he's going to win this fight whatsoever. Hakeem's going to be the pick. He has a lot more power in the hands. I believe he's going to be the better striker in this fight, a lot faster as well. And because Hakeem seems to be struggling with the weight cuts, I'd wait till the post-weigh-in face-off show for this one to place any bets. If Hakeem makes weight, he looks good, he feels comfortable, then I'd probably smash the KO prop. Cub Swanson's chin's fading very fast. Jonathan Martinez got the leg kick knockout in the last one. And Hakeem's last 3 wins were by a decision. This guy's going to be hungry for a big finish here. And especially coming off that loss to Julian Erosa, hopefully he's figured things out with the weight cut. And next up, we got Khalil Rountree against Chris Daukaus, moving down to 205. First fight at 205. Just lost his last 3 fights by knockout. But they're tough guys at heavyweight, like Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Curtis Blades, Derek Lewis. All those guys would have smoked Khalil Rountree, so I see no shame in that. I think Chris Daukaus is going to be a lot faster on the feet. He's going to be the better boxer, way more technical. And at 275, I love the price tag. Ludovic Klein last week, what did he do? You know what I mean? He just got the job done at 275. I see Chris Daukaus coming in here at 205, being a lot faster than Khalil Rountree and sparking him, getting the knockout shot. Khalil Rountree has been hesitant at times. Knocked out to Johnny Walker, Ion Kutalaba. So this guy can get knocked out. He is finishable. So in this fight, I'd be careful fading Daukaus. He has 11 out of 12 knockouts. He has 4 knockouts in the UFC at heavyweight. And he definitely has the power to knock out Khalil Rountree. I'm not a big fan of Khalil Rountree. In that split decision to Dustin Jacoby, I believe he got outstruck. And Dustin Jacoby should have got his hand raised in that one. And Chris Daukaus is definitely going to be the way better boxer, and he's going to get this job done as my underdog of the week. Let's get it. And next up, we got a women's fight on the main card here. 13-5 Polyana Viana, 262 underdog against Iasmin Lucindo, 14-5, 150 favorite. 2 Brazilians again, and Lucindo's 21, Viana's 31. That's a 10-year differential. And Lucindo has just as much experience. I believe she's going to get this done by a decision. I don't see her as much of a finisher. Polyana Viana's obviously the finisher in this fight. She has 5 knockouts, 8 submissions. 12 out of 13 of those finishes are in the very first round. So outside of that first round, she's toast, and especially against a young prospect in Lucindo. I see Lucindo constantly pressuring Viana in this fight, getting the takedowns, getting the control time, and beating her ass. And next up, we got a fight in the middleweight division, AJ Dobson, Tafon Nchukwi. And this fight, I was kind of thinking about it for a while. I had this labeled as a close fight. I see it going the distance. I'm going to have another liquid shot here of courage just to make sure I can get this pick right as well. It's a close fight, and it's probably going to be priced even closer on Friday. AJ Dobson has some value right now at 220. But got to go with the favorite, Tafon Nchukwi. I think he's the powerhouse in this fight. If you look at the size of this guy, he definitely has to cut a bit of weight to get to middleweight. AJ Dobson, he's a little bit slimmer, more athletic. And Tafon has some success against those type of fighters. I think he's going to have success once again. AJ Dobson has been hesitant on the feet. And in a fight where he's fighting a thick powerhouse in Tafon Nchukwi, he's going to be hesitant once again. Tafon is coming off 2 losses to 2 very good fighters, Carlos Ulberg, Asmat Mirzakhanov. Knocked out in both of them. So yeah, people are going to say Tafon's chin's a little bit questionable. But AJ is going to be the better wrestler, not the better striker in this fight. And next up, we got the last fight on the main card. We got Josh Fremd and Jamie Pickett. And Jamie Pickett lost that decision to Tafon Nchukwi. And he also got slaughtered to Bo Nickel in the first round by submission. Got submitted to Kyle Daukaus. Knocked out to Dennis Tululian. Knocked out to Jordan Wright. He's having a tough go over, like 2-5 in the UFC. Josh Fremd was having a tough time as well. He got submitted to Trayshawn Gore, and he also got knocked out to Gregory Rodriguez. Lost the decision to Anthony Hernandez, which isn't too bad. But then he beat Cedric Dumas, who was this big high-level prospect street fighter. Submitted him. Looked pretty good. Obviously, he's able to get some takedowns and control time. I believe he's going to be the better wrestler than Jamie Pickett. But Pickett is a physical specimen. He's very dedicated to the sport. He's trying to improve as best as he can. I don't know if he's going to improve enough in this fight to get it done. He's a 350 underdog here. I don't think he's UFC caliber, like I mentioned on previous Jamie Pickett predictions. And I think this very well could be one of the last fights we see him inside the UFC. And if you haven't yet, please smash that like button, suplex the subscribe button. Once I hit 500 subscribers, I'll give away $500. All what you got to do, join Discord. It's absolutely free. And I'm going to set up a giveaway bot. One person's going to win $500. We have a great community going and growing. Dreadstock's in the Discord. He lost his first dog of the week. He was high on Damon Jackson and Gavin Tucker. So unfortunately, he's going to have to rebound this week at UFC Vegas 78. But Caesar in the Discord, he's still giving out his locks and dogs. He also struggled last week. Everybody struggled in UFC Nashville. But we're all going to rebound big here, back at the Apex. And another forecaster to mention in the Discord, Game & Girth. He's been active. Really appreciate the support, brother. I appreciate everyone's support in the Discord. Forecasters are going to make it rain this week at the Apex. Let's get it. Let's continue with the prelims here. And this is one of my most confident picks. I think it's Marcus McGhee 7-1. Just won a phenomenal debut against Journey Newsom by submission. His first ever submission. The rest are all knockouts. He has a 100% finish rate. And he's a 125 favorite against JP Buys here. $4 underdog. Is absolutely struggling in the UFC. I don't think he's UFC caliber. He's 9-5. Knocked out to Cody Durden, who doesn't normally get knockouts. He's more of a wrestler like we just seen. He can get the takedowns, control time. If you got knocked out to Durden, who's a flyweight in your last fight, now you're fighting Marcus McGhee, who has that 100% finish rate, trained at the MMA lab with Kyler Phillips as well. So he's with great training partners. And another thing to mention too, 71% strike defense, 100% takedown defense in his first fight there against Journey Newsom. He didn't struggle whatsoever. JP Buys also has a 39% strike defense, 25% takedown defense. Wherever Marcus McGhee wants to take this fight, he's going to have success and he's going to get the finish 100%. He would be my lock of the week if there's more value in it, but 125, I think everybody's on the Marcus McGhee train this week. And next up on short notice, we got Terrance McKinney, one of my favorite fighters. But picking him on instinct of being one of my favorite fighters has cost me money. He got submitted to Nazem Sadikov in his last fight. Switched to the wrestling. He's a very high-level wrestler. He has that 100% finish rate, 5 knockouts, 8 submissions, 12 out of 13 in the very first round. Probably a first-rounder bust fighter. Cardio past the first round, not very good. But Mike Breeden, man, like, before that Natan Levy fight, he got smoked against Alex Hernandez. And I think Terrance McKinney wants a big win here. He's taking it on short notice. He's obviously pretty confident. And I don't think he's going to screw this one up. He's a 4-1 favorite. I think he's getting the first-round finish. I'm calling it right now. I'm throwing on the tinfoil hat for Terrance T-Rex McKinney. Because my boy ain't fucking this one up. I'm putting some money on Terrance McKinney by finish, probably round 1 as well. I don't see it going any other way. Mike Breeden is a bum. Last wins over a 13-12, 9-6 opponent. He's not going to get the dub against Terrance McKinney. And he's absorbing 6 strikes a minute. T-Rex is definitely the play in this one.
Yo, fuck nuts! It's probing time.
And next up, we got a fight in the featherweight division between Francis Fire Marshall and Isaac Bulgarian. Francis is coming off his first pro loss to William Gomez, who was my underdog of the week. I had Gomez by decision in that one. And I'm 2-0 on predicting Francis Marshall fights. And I'm predicting him to win in this one. So hopefully go 3-0 here. Isaac Bulgarian. He's fighting pretty low-level guys, man. Like, a lot of people are super hype on him, but he just beat opponents that were 3-4, 3-7, 0-1. He's fighting at the Fighting Alliance Championship. That's where Mike Breeden got his last 2 wins. So these 2 guys, man, like, are not UFC caliber in my opinion. I don't see them getting the job done here on Saturday. And I'm going to be smashing bets on the other side to recover from the Smashville fucking storm we just had. Bulgarian is a very good wrestler, 100% finish rate, all finishes in the first round. But super low-level wins. Outside of the first round, he's probably going to gas out. Especially when someone's constantly trying to take him down like Francis Marshall. Averages 3.7 takedowns, 50% accuracy. I see him getting some takedowns. I see him getting some control time. Francis also hits pretty hard. He knocked out Marcelo Rojo in his debut. But in his last fight, it was a split decision because Francis was coming back in that fight. He has phenomenal cardio. I would not be surprised if Isaac's overconfident, goes for a takedown in this fight, gets caught in a submission, and Francis Fire Marshall gets the job done. And next up, the heavyweights are going to go to work. Josh Parisian, Martin Buday. And Jesus Christ, like, fuck me sideways. These 2 boys are probably going to go the distance. It's going to be boring as fuck. Josh Parisian's getting disrespected on the odds. Nobody can parlay or bet Martin Buday at 150 because he's like fucking slow, but yet technical and pretty decent. Picking up some wins against Lucas Brzeski by split. Probably shouldn't have got that job done, but he beat Chris Barnett, Jake Collier. Like, Jake Collier is pretty well the same fighter as Josh Parisian. Parisian has been struggling in the UFC. Like, he lost to Jamal Pogues, Parker Porter, knocked out to Dontel Maines, but yet he keeps pushing forward, and he has all right cardio for heavyweight. I'm probably going to stay away 100% on this one. Martin Buday's the pick. His last 3 wins are by a decision, and he probably squeezes this one out by a decision. And next up, we got the second fight of the night. It's a women's fight between Jaqueline and Amorim. Very good-looking girl, 6-1. Pretty good prospect as well. And she's going to be fighting Montserrat Ruiz. Ruiz is 10-2, coming off a 2-year layoff. And a knockout loss in the very first round to Amanda Lemos. She is a national champion wrestler, averages 3.8 takedowns, 80%. and she's probably going to be the better wrestler in this fight. Jaqueline Amorim averages 2 takedowns at 20%. Like, she's not getting the takedowns, but yet she can get the submissions. She's coming from the LFA as well. She's fought opponents that are 5-4, 3-2, 1-1, picked up the wins there. But in the UFC, she just lost to Sam Hughes, and she's a 133 favorite in this fight. Like, Montserrat also has more volume on the feet, probably a little bit more power. It's a tough fight to predict because I see Montserrat getting the takedowns and control of time and avoiding that submission, but Jaqueline's a fucking BJJ black belt, and she can easily get the submission in this fight. Probably just going to stay away from it. And all of Jaqueline's wins are also finishes in the first round. So outside of the first round, I think she's toast against a tough, gritty girl in Montserrat. I got to go with the Mexican underdog in this fight. Hopefully she doesn't have too much ring rust. And next up, we got the first fight of the night. And I've yet to give out a lock of the week. So my lock of the week's this one here. It's Luana Santos 5-1 against Juliana Miller, who's 3-2. Definitely not UFC caliber. Just lost a unanimous decision to Veronica Hardy, and I don't like her whatsoever. She got taken down 4 times against Veronica Hardy on 4 attempts. She has a 26% strike accuracy and is literally good nowheres. Luana Santos, on the other hand, has a judo background. She can definitely get the takedowns in this fight. She has 3 submissions if it does go to the ground. 2 of those fights ended in the first round. One of those was a key lock as well, and her only loss was a split decision to a 5-0 opponent. I think she's going to smoke Juliana Miller in her debut, and she's going to be a real prospect for the flyweight division here. Juliana Killer Miller, the Ultimate Fighter champion, is going to get strangled in this fight. That's my official prediction. Lock it in. Luana Santos 172. And I expect that price tag to drop significantly now, so hop on it. It's only 10 o'clock on Sunday night, and by Friday, she's going to be probably a wide favorite. And if the odds don't drop by the final prediction show on Friday, I'll be doubling down on my single lock of the week this week. And now it's time for the lock and dog of the week. We don't need to go over the lock of the week because I just gave it to you. Luana Santos. She's going to get the job done at 172. The Brazilian lock is coming through. Underdog of the week this week. You guys might not like it, but you're going to be surprised when he gets the first round knockout win. Chris Daukaus coming down to 205. He's a technical boxer. He's going to hit hard. He already knocked out 4 UFC heavyweights, and he's about to knock out Khalil Rountree and probably make him cry again. But this time Khalil Rountree won't be on the mic after a greasy split decision win. He's going to be fucking waking up after he gets knocked the fuck out. So let's go Chris Daukaus all day. And if you want to support me, give a donation or get access to my bets, best way is probably Patreon. It's only $5 a month for exclusive and early access to all my bets. I have a Platinum Picks, Forecast Forensic, and like I mentioned, Discord's absolutely free. Join that now. The link is in the bio below. Hopefully I see some new forecasters in there. And don't be afraid to try to steer me in a different direction either. We got until Friday, the post-weigh-in face-off show, to look over our picks. If you guys disagree with any of my picks, let me know in the prediction chat. Don't be afraid. And please drop a comment below. It really helps with the algorithm. And I love to see everybody's comments each and every week. Don't forget to smash that like button. And I'll be back on Friday for the post-weigh-in face-off show. Cheers, everybody.